Why does it feel a little good when someone else's perfect life falls apart on the internet? You know that tiny spark of joy you get when a scandal breaks and you rush to click the video before anyone spoils it. You can tell yourself it is about truth or justice or awareness, but deep down you know there is something else sitting there. Tonight I want to tell you a story about that little spark. Because once you see what it really is, you cannot unsee it. And you might hear this story and think it is about some awful creator out there, but be careful, because parts of it will feel very familiar. So sit with me for a while and let us talk about fire. The story starts with a woman who is shaking on a live stream while thousands of people call her a monster. Her hair is tied back in a rush, her eyeliner is smeared, and the bright studio lights make her look more tired than dramatic. Her chat window is moving so fast she cannot read a single line before it vanishes. Words like cancelled and abuser and fake wash over the screen in a constant tide. She stares at them for a second, then lets out a small dry laugh that does not sound like joy at all.
You wanted a villain, right? You wanted someone to blame, so let me tell you how I got here.
Her name is Lena Cruz, and up until about 3 days ago, she was one of the most loved scandal commentators on the platform. You probably know at least one channel like hers. The thumbnail faces are always a bit too shocked, the titles are always a bit too dramatic, and you click anyway. Lena's show is called Trash Fire Weekly. People say it with a smile, like it is their favorite guilty pleasure snack. On that live stream night, her subscriber count is dropping by the second. She can see it on the second monitor, a red number ticking down, like a slow countdown for a bomb she has already set off. She leans closer to the mic, takes a breath, and says she will explain everything. But before she does that, let me take you back to when all of this still felt like a game. Because Lena did not wake up one day and say, "I want to ruin people for money." Like most disasters, it started with something that looked very close to good intentions. Many years before the live stream, Lena is a teenager who hates cameras. Back then, cameras meant reporters outside her house, shouting questions at her father, while neighbors watched through curtains. Her father had made a mistake that turned into a small local scandal. It was not the end of the world, not prison level, not movie level, but it was enough to feed people for a while. A newspaper twisted some facts, a blog added more spice, and strangers turned her family into a weekend story. Lena remembers the sound of television in another room, hearing her last name said by a stranger who did not even know how to pronounce it right. She remembers classmates sending her screenshots with fake sympathy and real curiosity. And she remembers feeling like the world was having fun with her life, while she tried not to breathe too loudly. There was one person who did not treat her like a punchline. His name was Ethan Ward. He was a skinny boy with kind eyes and a calm voice that made even bad hallways feel less loud.
People are bored.
That is what he told her after one especially rough day at school.
They are not thinking about you. They are just trying not to think about their own problems.
It did not fix anything, but it was the first time someone admitted that the crowd was not noble or brave, just hungry and scared. Ethan stayed by her side through the worst of it. He showed up with cheap coffee, he walked her home, he changed the subject when her father's name came up. Years later, those details will matter more than she expects. Because they are the reason she will hesitate when she has a chance to set him on fire. Time moves on, as it always does, even when you think your life is over. Her father rebuilds a quiet version of his life in another city. Lena grows up, moves out, gets a basic job, and spends a lot of time online. She watches creators talk about scandals and hypocrisy and bad behavior. Sometimes they make smart points. Sometimes they just throw rocks with good lighting. At first she hates them. Each joke about someone's ruined career makes her remember her mother crying at the kitchen table. Then one day something flips. She realizes that the people holding the microphone do not get dragged through the mud in the same way. They are the ones who choose which angle is shown and which facts are highlighted. For the first time since she was a teenager, she sees a way to be on the side that points, not the side that gets pointed at. Trash Fire Weekly starts as a joke between Lena and her friend Maya. Maya is the type of person who can turn chaos into a calendar. She edits video, answers emails, and negotiates deals while eating instant noodles over her laptop.
You rant about bad people. I make it look pretty. We split the ad money and never work in retail again.
That is how Maya pitches it one night when they are both sick of low pay and worse bosses. Lena laughs, then records a first test video on a cheap webcam. The early episodes are small. Lena reacts to influencer drama, fake charity campaigns, secretly recorded phone calls. She talks fast, she makes sharp jokes, and she is very clear about one thing.
I do not go after random people. I go after people who chose the spotlight and built their brand on lies.
That line becomes part of her identity. It is a shield she holds up whenever she feels a sting of guilt. The audience arrives slowly at first, then all at once. People love that she does not pretend to be polite. They call her fearless and real and necessary. They send her clips and screenshots and long messages that all say the same thing. Please talk about this person. Please expose them. Please make us feel better about watching them fall. Views turn into money. Money turns into a better camera, a better mic, a small studio. Brands start sending emails with friendly smiles and careful contracts.
They love how you say what everyone else is too scared to say.
That is what Maya tells her after closing their first big sponsorship deal. Lena nods, but inside she feels something else. She feels power. And she likes it more than she wants to admit. Every upload follows a rhythm, even when viewers do not notice it. She teases a rumor. She hints at a secret. She breaks down the bad behavior in a way that makes her viewers gasp and laugh at the same time. People feel worried and then relieved within a few minutes. They feel disgust and then comfort. They feel anger and then a strange calm because at least it is not their life on the screen. Lena watches her numbers climb and tells herself she is serving the truth. Sometimes that is even true. Some of the people she talks about have hurt others. Some have stolen money, lied to fans, harassed workers, covered up ugly things. In those cases, her videos help push other people to speak up. It is not all bad. That is part of what makes it dangerous. Because once you taste that rush, it is hard to stop chasing it. And the line between justice and entertainment becomes very thin and very easy to step over. One evening, long after the channel has become her full-time job, Lena is sitting alone in the studio. The set is simple: a desk, a mic, a background with her logo, a few plants that keep dying and getting replaced. Maya has gone home with a headache. The latest episode is already uploaded. It is another hit. The comments are full of praise and outrage in equal parts. Lena scrolls through messages half out of habit and half out of boredom. Then she sees it. It is a direct message with no profile picture and a username that looks like someone smashed the keyboard. The subject line is short. It says only this: "I know what he did." Lena almost deletes it. She gets dozens of dramatic messages every week. People lie, they exaggerate, they mix up facts and feelings. She has learned to be careful. But for some reason she clicks. Inside the message there is a simple sentence and several links to files. The sentence says that a well-known community organizer has a past that does not fit his public image. The name in the message makes her heart stop for a second. It does not feel like drama anymore, at least not for a moment. The name is Ethan Ward. She has not spoken to him in years. Life pulled them in different directions. He stayed in their old city and started working with people who had fallen through the cracks of society. Homeless youth, people leaving abusive homes, people trying to get off drugs, people the world calls lost. He built a center, then another, and slowly his name became known. News stories call him a local hero. Donors like his clean image. He is the type of person people post about with inspiring quotes. Lena knows him as the boy who sat with her in silent hallways when everyone else stared. Her first instinct is to close the message and pretend she never saw it. She even moves the cursor towards the little cross at the top of the window. Then curiosity turns her hand slightly and she opens one of the files. It is a document, old and scanned, from a funding report. There are numbers and boxes and notes. On its own it means nothing. But the sender has attached more files. There are emails between staff members. There is a short voice note. The picture starts to form slowly. Years ago, when Ethan's organization was still small and fragile, some money was moved around in a way that does not follow the rules. Funds meant for one program were used for another. A report was edited to hide that. It was not a simple case of someone taking cash and buying a new car. It was messy and human and full of fear. Lena leans back in her chair and stares at the wall. Her first thought is simple and sharp. This is a story that would blow up. Her second thought arrives right after, and it is softer and heavier. Do I really want to be the one to tell it? She sits there for a long time, the glow of the monitor painting her face in cold light. After a while, Maya walks back into the studio to pick up a charger she forgot.
You still here? The video is doing great.
Lena does not answer right away. She just turns the screen so Maya can see the files and the name at the top.
Is that who I think it is?
Lena nods slowly.
Absolutely not. Delete it. Forget it. There are 1,000 other scandals out there.
Maya says it very fast, like she is trying to outrun what this could become.
It is not fake. The documents look real. The emails match. The voice note sounds like him.
Her voice is flat, but inside her chest there is a low, steady hum. It feels like excitement and dread mixed in equal parts.
So you found out that a human being did something messy when he was scared and poor and trying to keep people alive.
Maya rubs her forehead with 2 fingers.
You talk about monsters who build fake charities to scam fans. He is not that.
I talk about lies. And this is a lie. He has donors who think he is clean. They trust him.
The word trust leaves a strange taste in her mouth. She knows better than most how fragile trust is once the internet gets involved.
If you go after him, you do not just hit him, you hit everyone who depends on him.
Maya's voice cracks a little, almost too small to notice. Lena thinks about it. Then she does something she will spend a long time trying to explain to herself. She does not delete the files. She moves them into a new folder with a plain name. Then she tells herself she is just keeping them for now. In the following days, the folder sits in the corner of her desktop like a small but very loud object. She goes about her work. She films episodes about other people. Influencers who shout about kindness while screaming at staff off camera. Creators who sell life-changing courses that do not change anything except their own bank balance. Each time she records a new video, the rush of energy feels a bit weaker. Each time she looks at the view count, it calms her for a little while and then leaves her oddly empty. At night she clicks on Ethan's folder and rereads the messages. Some of them are from a former staff member who feels betrayed. Some sound like they want justice. Some sound like they just want to hurt him. Lena tells herself she is doing research. She tells herself she has not decided anything. But she also starts to think about how she would frame the story if she ever told it. One afternoon she posts a poll for her audience. She does not use any names. She keeps the question very clean. She asks if people believe someone who did something wrong in the past can ever fully earn trust again. She asks if it matters what their work looks like now. Within an hour, the poll has thousands of votes. The comment section becomes a small war. Some people say that once a liar, always a liar. Some say that everyone makes mistakes and the only thing that matters is what they do after. Some people confess to things they have done and never told anyone. Lena reads it all. She feels the audience's moral anger buzzing like a live wire. She also sees how much they enjoy arguing about who deserves a second chance. The more she reads, the more she hears a quiet voice in the back of her mind. The voice says they will watch whatever story you tell them. The voice says they will call it justice, but they are also here for the thrill. The voice says you are here for that thrill too. Days pass. Maya keeps giving her the same look every time she catches Lena hovering over that folder. It is a mix of worry and tired love and personal fear.
My rent depends on this channel now.
She tells Lena that one night over takeaway food.
Please do not blow it up because you want one more big fire.
Lena says she understands. She means it in that moment. 1 hour later, she is still awake, staring at the ceiling, and her mind is full of headlines with her name in them. She imagines a video titled "The Untouchable Hero with a Dirty Secret." She imagines millions of views. She imagines other channels reacting to her video. They will call her brave again. They will call her necessary again. They will not ask whether the people in the story can sleep at night. There is a line inside every person where fear and hunger and ego meet. One quiet morning, Lena steps over hers. She opens a blank document and starts writing. She does not name Ethan. She talks about a well-loved figure in the social space who built a reputation as a savior. She shows pieces of the documents with names blurred but details visible. She uses the word misused funds instead of stolen money because she knows the difference. She explains the story in a way that is technically fair and emotionally very sharp. Every time she hesitates, she reminds herself of a simple phrase. People deserve to know. It is not a lie, but it is not the whole truth either. Maya walks into the studio and sees the script on the teleprompter. She reads a few lines and goes very quiet.
If you do this, there is no way back.
There was never a way back.
Lena keeps her eyes on the screen so she does not have to watch Maya flinch at that answer. They record the video. Maya edits it with the same skill she uses on every episode. The cuts are clean. The pacing is perfect. The background music adds just enough tension to keep viewers from clicking away. Lena sits in the booth and records the voice track with that familiar cool tone her audience likes. She tells the story like it is a case study. She drops in small jokes that make the whole thing easier to swallow.
It is funny how some people talk about transparency while their accounting software seems to be running in night mode.
She smiles when she says it, because if she does not smile, she might start shaking. They schedule the upload for the evening. When the clock hits that time, the video goes live. For the first few minutes, nothing happens. Then the algorithm does what it does best. It takes a story about power and fear and turns it into content. The view count jumps. Comments pour in. People say they are shocked. People say they always had a bad feeling about that unnamed hero. People start guessing who it is. It does not take long. Someone posts 3 clues in a row and gets it right. Others confirm with screenshots and old posts. By midnight, Ethan's name is trending. By morning, news sites have picked it up. They use words that sound flat and clean, like alleged and controversy and investigation. Under each article, the comment section is a smaller version of Lena's own. Some say he should be arrested. Some say everything he has done now means nothing. Some say they always knew something was off. Lena watches this from her studio chair with a mug of coffee that has gone cold. Her phone buzzes nonstop. Some messages are from fans calling her brave. Some are from people calling her a snake. One is from a number she has not seen on her screen in years. She does not open that one right away. She is not ready for his voice, not even in text form. But she cannot avoid the rest of the impact. Donors freeze their support until there is a review. Events get cancelled. People who use Ethan's centers start to panic online. They post about how much they need those services. They also ask if they have been part of something dirty without knowing. Their fear spreads quietly between the louder arguments of strangers. Maya comes into the studio with a face that looks like she has not slept.
I hope it was worth it. The numbers look amazing.
Her voice is flat and tired and full of something that is not pride.
I told the truth.
Lena says it like a defense and like a question.
You told the truth, but you picked the angle that would hurt the most.
Maya sits down and puts her head in her hands.
You lit the match, and then you stood back and called it weather.
Lena does not know how to answer that without lying, so she changes the subject. She talks about sponsors and emails and media requests. Maya lets her. Sometimes silence says everything that needs to be said for a while. 2 days after the video goes up, Lena gets a message asking her to come to a small office on the edge of the city. It is from someone who works with Ethan. They say he wants to talk before things get any worse. She almost says no. She almost says there is nothing to talk about. But even she does not believe that. The office is simple, with old chairs and a coffee machine that makes more noise than coffee. Ethan is standing by the window when she walks in. He looks older than she remembers, but no less kind. That somehow makes this harder.
I did not expect you to turn up.
He says it in a calm voice that does not match the storm outside those walls.
I did not expect you to ask.
Her voice is calm too, but her hand is twisting the strap of her bag.
You said a lot of things in that video.
He picks up a printed transcript from the desk.
Some of them were even fair.
He sets it down again.
You left out the night I sat with you and your father when nobody else would come near your house.
He says it without bitterness, just like a fact.
You left out the meetings where I begged people to fund beds for kids who had no place to sleep, while they asked if our logo was modern enough.
There is a quiet pause that feels heavier than shouting.
I moved that money because I was trying to keep the doors open, and I was ashamed of how I did it. I am not proud of that, but you already know that, because you read those emails.
He is right. Some of the messages in the folder showed regret and plans to fix the mistake. Lena put less focus on those parts in the video.
People deserve to know where their money went.
It is the strongest reason she has, and it still feels weak in this small room.
They do.
Ethan nods.
But you did not tell them that the money still went to the same kids in a different program. You let them think I stuffed it in my pockets. You painted the worst possible version of the story and gave it to millions of people who were ready to be angry. You fed them a feast and told yourself you were starving them of lies.
There is no camera here. No chat cheering her on, no brand deal waiting. There is only the man who once helped her hold herself together.
You built a brand on being the good guy. You knew they would hold you to a higher standard.
She sounds defensive even to her own ears.
You built a brand on burning people.
He looks at her, not with hatred, but with tired honesty.
You knew they would enjoy watching.
Those words land harder than any insult. Because they are not wrong. Lena leaves the office with a head full of static. Outside, some protesters have gathered, holding signs and shouting slogans. Some of the signs have Ethan's name on them. Some have her channel's name with the word cancel next to it. People love clear villains. They do not really care which name they get to write on the sign as long as they can wave it. Within a week, things get worse. A new article comes out that blames Ethan's scandal for a drop in funding for similar organizations. Other centers have to cut programs. A few people from those programs end up on camera, talking about their fear. Lena watches all of this on screens. She notices how every clip of Ethan is now placed under a darker filter. She notices how his old good deeds are now described in suspicious tones. She recognizes the pattern because she has used it. At the same time, other creators start making videos about her. Some praise her courage. Some accuse her of chasing views at the cost of human lives. Some do both in the same breath because nuance gets more watch time. Her comment section splits into camps. One calls her a hero who exposes false saints. Another calls her a leech who feeds on pain. In a strange way, both groups keep her numbers high. Maya stops coming to the studio for a few days. She sends short messages about needing space. Lena does not push. She sits alone with her screens and the endless flow of opinions. Then one morning a sponsor pulls out of a deal. They say they want to avoid being linked to controversy. The irony is so strong that Lena actually laughs out loud. Her entire job is controversy. Her management team suggests she do a live stream to address everything. They send her a suggested script. It has all the classic lines. They are sorry if anyone was hurt. They will do better moving forward. They will take a short break to reflect. It is a perfect piece of damage control. It is also completely empty. She knows that if she reads it, some people will accept it and some will not, but eventually everyone will move on to the next fire. She knows she will have learned nothing real. And that is how we get back to the night where this story began. Lena sits in front of her ring light. The chat window explodes before she even says hello. She watches slurs and praise and jokes fly past so fast they blur together. For a brief second she thinks about turning off the stream and disappearing. Then another thought comes. If this is who I really am, I should at least say it out loud.
You want to know if I'm a monster?
Her first sentence cuts through the chaos. The chat slows just a little.
Maybe I am, but I did not get here alone.
People start typing question marks.
You say you hate drama, you say you hate cancel culture, but you clicked. You always click.
Her voice is steady now.
You call it holding people accountable, and sometimes it is, but sometimes you are just happy it is not you.
She talks about her father and the old scandal. She talks about sitting in a living room while strangers joked about her family at dinner tables. She talks about the first time she realized she could be on the other side of the camera.
I told myself I was different because I picked people who deserved it. I told myself I was helping people see the truth. And then I found a story about someone who once held my life together with his bare hands. And I still chose to feed you that story, because I knew you would enjoy it.
Her words are simple, but they land hard. Some viewers feel defensive. Some feel seen. Some just feel bored because they came for a fight, not a mirror.
I am not going to stand here and say I did nothing wrong. I made choices because I wanted views, I wanted money, I wanted to feel important. And you rewarded every single one of those choices until the fire finally reached someone you liked.
The chat splits again. Some accuse her of blaming the audience. Some thank her for being honest. Some spam emojis to avoid thinking too hard. Lena tells them she is not deleting her channel. She knows that would be an easy way to look noble without changing anything.
I am not going to pretend I hate this platform. I grew up here, it paid my rent, it gave me friends, it gave me enemies, it gave me a stage. I am not walking away, I am changing what I do on it.
She explains that from now on she will still talk about scandals, but not in the same way. She wants to talk about why they are so addictive. She wants to talk about what we enjoy when we watch someone fall. She wants to turn the camera a few degrees so that it does not just show the person on the screen, but also the person watching. It is not a perfect plan. It will not fix everything. Some people unsubscribe on the spot. Some stay curious to see if she can follow through. After the stream ends, her follower count is lower than before, but not destroyed. Her inbox is full of angry messages and grateful ones. Maya comes back to the studio the next day with heavy eyes and a cup of strong coffee.
So you decided not to do the usual fake apology tour.
There is a small spark of reluctant respect in her tone.
I thought about it, but I was tired of lying even to myself.
Maya sits down and opens a new project file.
If you're serious about this new direction, it is going to be harder than just pointing at other people.
I know.
Good, because I am too tired to help you burn the world, but I might still have energy left to help you understand it.
It is not a full forgiveness. It is something closer to a treaty between two exhausted people who still care. Later that week, Lena records a new video. There is no scandal target in the thumbnail. No red arrows, no shocked faces. The title is quieter than usual. It says, "The first time my family was content." In that video, she lays out the story of her father, the articles, the comments, the way her classmates laughed in the hallway. She explains how it felt to watch strangers discuss her life like it was a show. She does not cry on camera. She does not need to. The story is clear enough. She ends that video with a simple question.
When you see a scandal, do you ever ask who is sitting just off camera trying to breathe?
The response is smaller than her usual viral hits, but deeper. Some viewers share their own stories of being on the wrong side of gossip. Some admit they never thought about the families behind headlines. Some still beg her to go back to the old format. One evening, after she finishes reading comments, Lena gets a short message from Ethan. It is not long and dramatic. It is not a sudden warm hug in text form.
I watched your last video. I still think you did real harm, and I am still trying to clean it up. But if you are going to teach people to look at the way they enjoy this stuff, not just at the people they are judging, then do it all the way. Make it hurt in the right direction.
She reads it 3 times. There is no forgiveness in those lines. There is also no complete rejection. It is something in between, which is where most real-life lives anyway. So, what is the lesson in all of this for you, the person listening right now? Because yes, this is a story about a creator who went too far, and a man whose gray choices became black and white for a hungry crowd. But it is also a story about us. We like to think we are just observers. We say we do not support hate. We say we are against cancel culture. Then we settle into bed, open a video app, and click on the messiest thumbnail we can find. There is nothing wrong with wanting truth. There is nothing wrong with holding powerful people to account. There is nothing wrong with shining light where people would rather stay in the dark. The problem starts when we enjoy the fall more than we care about what it hits on the way down. The problem starts when we forget there are whole lives around every little piece of drama. The problem starts when we call our hunger for spectacle by more noble names and never question it. So next time a scandal video pops up on your screen with a dramatic title and a shocked face, try something simple. Pause. Ask yourself one quiet question before you click. Am I here for truth, or am I just here for joy? Sometimes the answer will not be pure. Sometimes it will be a messy mix of both. That is fine. You are human. You are allowed to be curious and flawed at the same time. But if you remember that question, even once, you are already stepping out of the crowd a little. You are already putting a bit less fuel on the fire. You are already turning the camera a few degrees back toward yourself. Thank you for staying with me all the way to the end of this story. I know it was not light or easy, but I hope it gave you something real to think about. If you felt even a small shift inside you, if you saw yourself in any of these moments, please hit like so this story can reach more people who need to hear it. If you want to keep walking through these messy human stories with me, make sure you subscribe to Gold and Thorns so you do not miss the next one. I would also love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment and tell me how you feel about scandal videos after listening to this. If you want to support this channel and help us keep making these deep and uncomfortable stories, you can use the QR code on the bottom right of the video or the donation link in the description. In that description you will also find links to other works from completely different series on this channel, and those will take you down very different paths through the human mind. For now I will say goodbye, but I hope you will come back for the next story, because we are just getting started.